The trio presidency, including Spain, Belgium and Hungary, between the beginning of 2010 and mid-2011, has been a transitional trio, has been very experimental. They had to try to adjust to an institutional context for EU foreign policy that has been changing very, very fast in application of the Treaty of Lisbon. It has been difficult. I think the three countries in question have made a big effort to try and reconcile their national priorities and their working habits with the new structures shaping up at the European level. The Treaty of Lisbon grants EU institutions, and the High Representative in particular, a power of initiative in matters of foreign policy. This is the one most important innovation brought about by the treaty, because it enables EU bodies to set the agenda for the convergence of national positions around a common message and a common voice. This is something that we see the beginning of. It is early to say whether the new structures will bring about as much change in EU foreign policy as one would wish to see, but we detect some move in that direction, for example, vis-à-vis EU action towards Syria. Having said all that, it is premature to draw conclusions. This is a process, it is incremental, and both the service and the High Representative have to accumulate more experience to fully perform this role.
Well, I have a positive assessment of the first trio during the new Lisbon Treaty era in Europe, because we should address many challenges, difficult challenges, many crises, and we obtained, I think, a fair result of this situation, the tricky situation, for example, economic crisis, and the bailouts to Greece, Portugal, Ireland, which are an expression of the strength of Europe, not the weakness of Europe. For example, the Spanish cucumber crisis, volcanic crisis, we suffered many different situations, difficult situations, and Europe was able to face this challenge with, in my opinion, a success. But we are now maintaining a difficult atmosphere in the economic world, and it's the challenge of the next trio to fulfill the requirements of the current situation and to approve, which is going to be a very important tool for Europe, to approve the new budgetary perspectives, the new multi-annual financial perspectives, creating a new instrument, a new fiscal instrument, which is the financial transaction tax.
And our trio of Spain, Belgium and Hungary was the first trio after entering into force of the Lisbon Treaty. So we had to create a new mechanism of cooperation and collaboration between us and also with the European institutions. And if I say the European institutions, I also think about the Office of the High Representative and the new European External Action Service. It was a new task for us, but I think that we managed to do so. At the beginning, the European External Action Service was in the first phase, but by the end of the Hungarian EU presidency, it turned out more and more constructed. We cooperated very well with the Office of the High Representative and also with the EU delegation on spot in the different third countries. One of the most important lessons for us was that the rotating presidency after the Lisbon Treaty entered into force still has a role to play in the foreign policy and in the making of the foreign policy, but helping and supporting the services of the High Representative and the High Representative itself. Hungary wanted to play that role, a supportive and a helping role, and I think that it turned out successful.
It is very important, with a view to the second trio presidency, including Poland, Denmark and Cyprus, that these countries find ways to reconcile their national priorities with the need for a common foreign policy, that they feature their strong interests, for example, in the Eastern Partnership, the Eastern dimension of EU foreign policy in the case of Poland, with the need for a common agenda, a common message, and insofar as possible also a common voice. There has to be a lot of consultation and coordination between European structures and national foreign policies, so as to draw on mutual strengths as opposed to undermining each other.